All right, we are up on YouTube. And we are up on Facebook. All right. And I'm not late. I'm not late. So you know how older people will tell you, oh, I got up at 4 a.m. So I went downstairs, I made breakfast, I had coffee, read the paper, that kind of stuff, right? And then you call them up at like, I don't know, 8:30 and they're back in bed, right? I don't blame them. And that actually happened this morning. So the dogs don't let you sleep in. So I got up, I went downstairs, I took care of the dogs, I made coffee, actually brought coffee back upstairs and fell back asleep until about 25 minutes ago. So now I am one of those older people. I didn't know. So happy yoga. Happy Saturday. Hopefully you've got the weekend off and are going to do something fun other than yoga, because this will be fun. I've got some interesting things in mind, right? Remember to give things a try, right? If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And like I always say with being online, if it doesn't happen, you don't have to worry about anybody seeing you. If it doesn't quite work out or you fall out of something or whatever, no one's watching. So, of course, at the same time, you want to respect your body and listen to it. So if it's telling you, oh, hell no, then that's what you listen to, right? But you don't listen to the fear, right? If you are in a pose and your body is just telling you no, that's different. Than you looking at something and going, I don't know if I can, that's different, right? That's a mental thing versus a physical thing. So we want to shush the mental, right? And just listen to what the body is telling you at that moment, because sometimes you surprise yourself, right? That's like my favorite thing when someone comes up after class and says, I just did that and I didn't think I could. So fun, right? So we're going to have some fun. Come on over and get on the mat. Who's with me this morning? I can't tell who's on YouTube. Cheryl, good morning. Hi, Karen. So yeah, let's jump over to the mat. We're going to start standing up. I'm going to go ahead and face the camera, but be at the top of your mat there. Finding the four corners of your feet, right? So everything starts from the foundation up, right? Really focus on your feet. So wiggle around, maybe lean forward, lean back, out and in. Just kind of wiggle around. You don't have to lean your body weight, right? You can just kind of rotate at your ankles and have this great big space. So find the middle of that space and push down into it. Lifting the pelvic floor, the lower belly comes in and up. You just got taller, didn't you? Tall through your sides, but relax through your shoulders. Crown of the head reaching up. Go ahead and close your eyes. Taking the bottom tips of your ears back just enough. Feel the weight over your head, the weight of your head over your shoulders. And just be here. Notice what feels good today, maybe what is a little tight or sore. And again, just remaining aware of that as you move through your practice. Beginning to bring that focus to your breath. Simply observe for a moment. And then gently allow that breath to expand. Finding that breath that's just a little bit more than comfortable. And the goal is to have this idea in every single pose. So you're standing, you're strong, you're comfortable, you've got these really great breaths, your mind is present, whether you're simply standing or whether you're in a twisted upside down pretzel. So keep what you have set here. With the next inhale, we're going to take the arms and stretch them up to the ceiling. And then exhale, bring them back down. Letting your arms reflect your breath. We'll do it again. One more time. Let's come back to the top. When you get there, interlace your fingers. You can rotate the palms toward the ceiling if you like. Exhale, tip yourself over to the right. And then inhale, come on back to center. Exhale, left. So nice and easy like that, side to side. See if you can open up just a little bit deeper. Let's go once more on each side. Inhaling your way back to the middle again here. Let's exhale the arms. Taking the hands to rest on the thighs here, keeping the spine nice and tall. On the exhale, bring yourself over into a half fold. Little bend in the knees, and on the inhale, roll it back up again. So with the breath in and out like that, coming forward, flat back, and then back up nice and round. Take a couple more like that, moving through your spine, warming up those hamstrings. And then back into that half fold again, holding here. So lean on the legs if you feel like you need to lean. Trying to keep the hips over the ankles when you're in forward fold. So if that means a little bend in the knees or leaning your hands on your thighs to hold the middle, then that's where you're at, right? Belly's in to support the back. Let's go ahead and bend the knees for a moment here, resting the forearms on the thighs. Here we're going to take that left arm, sweep it up toward the ceiling. Allow yourself to even lean a little bit or a lot. And then releasing that, come back through the center and take your second side. Releasing that back to center again. Take the legs straight. Come into that half fold again, hips over ankles, leaning or not so much, keeping the shoulders back. And then here with your breath, on the exhale, see if you can dip into that fold just a little bit deeper. Inhale, come halfway up. And then exhale, dip in a little bit deeper. So each breath takes us a little bit deeper into the fold. Take your time. Sometimes you can kind of trick the muscle into moving a little bit deeper than it might normally as quickly. We're going to do that one more time. And then just hold what you have here. So the hands can stay on the thighs, they can start to move down, work to keep the shoulders back. So don't worry about touching your toes, just keeping the spine neutral and getting into the hamstrings is the goal. Never touching your toes. So let's go ahead and take a step back with the right foot. Move into a lunge and wiggle around a little bit. Finding a center, sweep the legs toward each other, and let's take that left leg straighter. So prop up if you need to prop up, of course. We're working to keep the shoulders back. So again, where your fingers are doesn't matter so much. Think keeping the hips square. Push the left hip back, let the right hip come forward. And then taking a little bend in the knee here, go ahead and step forward and come into your fold again. Take a moment, find your center. And then let's do the second side, stepping back with the left foot. Nice big step back. You can always drop the back knee in a lunge if you're more comfortable with that. Allow yourself to wiggle. And then finding that middle. Square up the hips. Imagine sweeping your legs toward each other and see about taking the right leg straighter. Straight, not quite propped. Listen to your body. And then bending back into the knee again here. Stepping forward into your fold. So let's slide the hands back up to the thighs again here, coming halfway up and then holding in our middle. So the belly is really working. If you need your hands, this is where they stay. Shoulders stay back, legs stay straight, and the hips stay over the ankles, right? Just like we talked about earlier. So again, if you need to hold on to be here, then that's where you're at. If you don't really need to hold, see about bringing the arms down the sides of the body. So the elbows hug into the waist, the shoulders are in line, the head is in line. And if this is challenging enough, you're done. Otherwise, maybe take the arms out to the sides. Hands right off the shoulders and take a peek to make sure they're where you think they are, because a lot of times they're not. And if that's not fun enough yet, go ahead and extend the arms forward. Hands, head, shoulders, and hips in this straight line. So your belly is working like crazy, your bum, your hamstrings. Try not to bend the knees or lean back. Adjust your hands. And then go ahead and bend into your knees. We're coming into chair. So the arms absolutely can be extended. You can still be hanging on for dear life. Out to the sides if you're feeling it. Nice big breaths. Let's take one more breath here. And we'll inhale, stretch to the ceiling. Exhale and release the arms. All right, so the body feels warm, yeah? Let's go ahead and move into sun salutes. As I've been talking this new year, right? We're working into a little bit, we're working toward more sun salutes, right? So I've always done 3, but you guys have been with me forever and we can do more than 3. So right now we've worked up to 4. We'll play with that as we progress. So standing nice and tall here, feet planted into the floor. On an inhale, stretch up. With the exhale, fold forward. Inhaling, come halfway up. Exhaling, step back into plank. Take the knees, of course, if you'd like. Drop down to the belly this time. Elbows tight to the sides on the inhale. Just simply roll your shoulders. Nice, easy little cobra. Releasing that up and back to down dog. And then inhaling, step forward fold. Halfway up on that next inhale. And then back over. Let's reach all the way up, stretch into the ceiling, and then releasing the arms. So again, like that. Inhale and lift. Exhale and fold. Halfway up. And back to your plank. Take it all the way down on that same exhalation if you can. Inhale into cobra, roll the shoulders, pull with the arms, elbows in. Release back to down dog. Stepping forward on the inhale. Halfway up. And back over. All the way. Exhale, release. So we've got one more like that. And I just love it when I don't talk, right? And you follow your breath. You don't need me. We've done it twice now already. So it's the exact same thing, right? If you do get lost, take a peek, of course, but you don't need to, right? With your breath, inhale and lift. And go. And not everyone's breath flows exactly the same. And that's why doing that kind of on your own really gives you just a little bit different taste of that. Right? So even as I'm cueing, see if you can still follow that. Right? So we're going to add on to that next one with a B variation here. So again, if you need to skip something, go ahead. Right? Inhale, sit into chair. Now exhale back to your fold. Halfway up. Back to plank, all the way down, rolling in cobra, a little bit deeper if you're ready. Exhaling, release back to down dog. And then inhale the right foot forward. Bring your toes to your fingers, take your time getting there. Knee or heel to the back, and we're reaching up. And exhale, back down. Step back to down dog. Inhale as you slide forward for a plank. Exhale down. Cobra. Back to down dog. We're going to inhale that left foot forward. Work your toes up there. Heel or knee to the mat, lifting. And exhale back down. Down dog. Last one like this, slide forward. Take it down. Into cobra. Back to your down dog. So hold here or drop on down into child's pose. Especially here, I find that sometimes the mind and the breath kind of gets away from us, right? So see if you can find that place that we set at the very beginning. One more nice big breath. Lifting back to down dog if you sat down. And then on the inhale, stepping the feet forward into the fold again. Halfway up. And fold back over. Into chair. And exhale, release. Good. So getting stronger and practicing that with that. So nice big step back with the left foot. We're moving into warrior two here. So right toes point forward, left toes are cut in a little bit. Heel in line with the instep-ish. Okay. Bending at the knee, watch for the big toe, stacking the knee and ankle, extend the arms. See if you can find the same feet you had when you were standing at the very top of your mat at the beginning of class. Steady through your legs, tall through your spine. Take another big breath. We will take the right leg straight, reaching forward, keeping the upper body in the same plane as the hips and ankles, moving into your triangle here. So lean on the leg if you need to lean. You can certainly use a block. Otherwise, just kind of let that arm dangle. Stacking the shoulders, looking up if that's you. And then we're going to release that over into lunge. So up on the back toes. Just like earlier, you can stay up off the back knee or drop it. Square up the hips here, take the right leg straight. So folding over the leg. Maybe you can look a little deeper this time. And we're going to add in a twist then. So if you're feeling a little less than stable, hop the back foot in, drop the back knee. All right, prop up if you need to, of course. The left hand is going to stay roughly where it is. If you want to get fancy at some point, you can come on top of the foot or to the right of the foot. Start where it is though. Bringing the right hand to the hip. Keep those hips square as you revolve around. And again, if you're feeling less than stable, make the adjustment. Take another big breath. And then release your twist. Little cushion bend in the knee here. We're going to take the hands and walk them around to center. And then just take a moment. Right? Toes point forward, even on your feet, just like when we started, right? And then you allow yourself to move into the fold wherever it is. So if you need to prop, hang on to your shins. Maybe you can put your head on the floor, right? Find where it is. And we're going to move to our second side. So go ahead and turn your right toes in a little bit, your left toes toward the back of your mat. And when you lift your upper body, the legs are something like you need them to be for your warrior two over here. So adjust if they're not exactly perfect. Find your feet, keep your hips level, extend the arms. Taking that left leg straight, reach forward and hinge. So lean, prop. Maybe this side is different than the other. See what's going on. Take one more breath here. And we're going to release it to come over into our lunge again. Whether you stay wide or drop the back knee, again, it's up to you. Taking the left leg straight when you're ready. Folding over the leg. Enjoy the stretch. And again here, making sure you feel stable enough for it to add on. So whether the right hand stays where it is, on top of the foot to the left, if you're super brave or super stable anyway, take the left hand to the hip and let's rotate around. And then releasing the twist. Little bend back in the knee. We're going to walk back into that straddle. So again, here, finding where your feet need to be, making sure they point forward, feeling even on the four corners. Allow your fold to be what it is for right now. And just kind of take inventory of where that is, right? A bit judgy about it, it just is, right? We're going to bend the knees then. Index and middle fingers wrap around the big toes. Elbows pointing out to the side. We're going to pull gently on the toes and see if we can't make that stretch a little bit deeper. Listen to your body. There's a point where it's just it, right? And that's it. Releasing the toes, take the fingers to interlace behind the lower back. So the hips are over the ankles, the shoulders are together on the back, stretching the knuckles away. Maybe up off your back, maybe not. Allowing the weight of the arms to bring you into that little bit deeper stretch. Listen to your body. Let's release the arms. We've got one more trick to get us a little bit deeper into the legs there. So from here, taking the hands, walk forward. And you're going to come all the way out and let your hips come low. And really drop in there. Take the hands, walk them back, and come back to your straddle. Do that again. Walk forward. Sink into those hips. And walk back. One more time like that. All the way out. Hips come down. And then back again. So, are you deeper into that fold yet? Let's see. Instead of having your fingers point forward, turn them around and point behind you. Okay? The hands are still roughly shoulder width apart, right? The knees can be bent if they need to be bent. And just getting your fingertips to the floor and pointing them backwards is it? Then, okay, right? That's good. That's where your fold is. Maybe see if you can walk your hands back. And wherever they are, whether they're barely touching the floor or whether they're walking way back behind you, a little pull against the floor and see where you can take that fold. Deeper than before? Go ahead and release it. We're going to walk the feet in. Go ahead and turn to the top of your mat and set back in a child's pose. So from here, let's go ahead and shift forward into tabletop. And normally this is where we'd be doing a balance pose, and so let's. Only not on our feet. Let's see what we can do here. So hands are shoulder width apart, Four corners of the hands nice and firm into the floor, just like we talk about our feet. From here, step up behind your hands. And then bend your knees and wiggle around and see how close you can get your knees to your armpits, right? You might have to bend a lot. I have to come on down, right, to get them there. I don't know what that means, probably nothing. But so just wiggle around and see how close you can get your knees into your armpits. And then just sort of release that and hang out for a second. And so now when your knees are in your armpits, or as close as they can get, your shins kind of touch the back of your arm, right? Your tricep. So if that's happening for you, just keep that in your brain, right? Those two things are connected. Your hands are firm against the floor. See if you can bring both knees into both armpits at the same time. So probably you have to start bending your elbows to make that happen a little bit, right? Keep bending your elbows enough so that all of a sudden your shins start leaning on your tricep. And if you lean forward enough, the weight of your body will shift into your hands, at least as much as your feet, right? I'm already up on my toes, so what if I lifted a foot up off the floor? What if I lifted the other one? So see, how close are your knees into your armpits? How much contact is there between your shins and your triceps? Where's the weight? It's about strength, don't get me wrong. But it's also about finding the balance, right? Can't lean too far forward or you fall forward. You can't lean too far back. Even if you have both feet on the floor, you can feel that balance work, right? So play with that just a little bit longer. Take a couple more breaths. Maybe pick up the other foot first if you're just happy to get one foot up off the floor. And then go ahead and come down and rest. Take a child's pose. Let's go ahead and come back and do that tabletop again. We're done with the arm balance. From here, we're going to take the right hand palm up and weave it under, whether your elbow comes down to the middle of the mat or your shoulder does. It's up to you. So you're even on your knees, your spine is long, your shoulders are stacked-ish, right? You can press into the hand into the floor to keep that shoulder back, pressing this right arm all down into the floor. Stretching the left arm up toward the ceiling if you like. Try not to let that shoulder eat your ear. Okay? Keep it stretching away from the body. Weight is on your shoulder, not on your head. You want to step the left foot back. And come away from the toes there. Let's release it. Making your way back to all fours. And then working the second side, right? So starting simply by taking that left arm under, whether you stop at the elbow or you drop all the way down, right? And then find your center. Make sure you're even on your knees, your spine is neutral, not leaning forward or back. And then you start pressing into the arms to work deeper into the twist. And when the twist is where you want it, that's when you add on, right? Extending the right arm, maybe lifting the right leg, playing with wherever this side is supposed to be. And then we're going to gently release what we got here, coming back into all fours, and then taking a seat back in your child pose again. Let's come to down dog. And we're going to bring the left knee up behind the left wrist. So slide it up there and then take the right leg long, long back, as far as you can reach back there. You can keep your toes tucked under with the heel pointing at the ceiling, or you can take your foot flat to the floor. Sometimes that helps to keep the hips square. So if that works for you, use it, right? Whether you leave the knee behind the wrist or you take it out to the left a little bit, see what happens. And then maybe you can slide your left toes forward, bringing the shin a bit more parallel to the top edge of the mat. So the hips are still square, the spine is nice and tall, and the leg is where it needs to be. Staying up on the hands if you like, or dropping down. Notice if you feel yourself drifting off to one side or the other, and try and stay centered. Allowing the hips to descend. Taking nice big breaths. And then we're going to add in a little bit here. So if you're all the way down, prop up on your forearms. We're going to take the right hand and slide it between the elbow and the knee here. Reach over to the left. And so if you see where your elbow's in the middle, you see where we're going with this, right? But if you keep reaching, you might be able to take your shoulder to the floor. So the hips might lean a little bit here. If you need to adjust where the knee or the shin is, certainly do. And the head is a little uncomfortable. Not painful. If you press into the arms, you get a bigger twist. You can extend that left arm back up toward the ceiling. You can wind it behind your back. And depending on where you are, you might be able to find your foot back there. Your left foot. We're going to take another nice big breath. And gently release. Climbing out from the twist. And then moving out of your down dog. Take your time, wiggle around. Let's go ahead and bring the right knee forward. I'll do the exact same thing here. So walk those left toes back, stretch the leg out long, releasing the knee, but decide whether you want your toes up or down, and you can always adjust. Right? Taking the right knee out, bring the right toes forward, wiggle around. Find where it is on this side. It's usually not the same, or not precisely the same anyway, right? Keeping the hips nice and square. Taking the elbows down, maybe moving all the way forehead to the mat. Allowing the hips to sink evenly toward the floor. And then adding in our twist, if you're down, come back to forearms. Taking left hand, sliding it between the elbow and knee, and then reaching over. And you decide if it needs to be elbow on the floor, just like with when we were in all fours, right? Then that's what it is, and you can still twist. If you extend with that shoulder to the floor, that's up to you. Lifting the right arm, reaching it behind your back for your toes over there, or not. And then we'll gently release the twist. Finding your way back up and gently back to your down dog. Let's drop on down to the knees. Take your child's pose again. We'll come up on the heels here and bring the legs around front. So extending the legs out nice and long. Feet are flexed, toes point up toward the ceiling. Take a little bit of inner thigh rotation so you feel upright on your pelvis. Remember, you can cushion the knees, you can sit up on a block, make your spine long and neutral. So the arms stay down by the hips if that's you. Otherwise, let's lift, keeping the shoulders down and then hinging forward into fold. So you can touch your toes if you touch your toes. Don't let your shoulders touch your toes though. Those shoulders stay back and the hands extend. Maybe that meets your toes and maybe it does not. Right? Again, not the goal. Take a few nice big breaths here. And just notice the change from where we started. And of course, we were standing at the time. Right? One more big breath. Inhaling on the way back up. Releasing the arms. So let's go ahead and take the right foot flat to the floor. That foot can be a little bit closer to your ankle or a little bit closer to your hip. It can stay on the inside or it can step to the outside. The idea is to have your pelvis level. So find where that is. Sit extra tall because you can hang onto your leg now. If you'd like, the left leg can stay extended, or if you bend at the knee, see about bringing that heel in front of your right sit bone. Do not sit on this ankle, otherwise your hips aren't level. So the pelvis is level and your spine is tall. The legs are where they need to be. Hang on. Taking that left arm, wrap it around the leg. Right arm behind the back. Press into the floor, sit a little taller. And then pulling against the leg, rotating around here. Nice big breaths. Releasing it back to the middle. We'll unhook the legs. Wiggle around, reset if you need to, of course. And then we do the same thing on the second side. So figure out where this foot needs to be. Closer to the ankle, closer to the hip, on the inside, or the outside. And you can move it around. Find where it feels best. Find where it allows you to move into the rest of the pose. Keeping the pelvis level, maybe the right foot comes in. Level pelvis, tall spine, hanging on here and adding in your twist by wrapping the right arm and supporting with the left. Pushing into that left arm, pulling around with the right. Let's release that, coming back to the center again. Go ahead and unhook. Wiggle around a little bit. And let's bring the feet together. Soles of the feet in, pulling against the ankles to sit tall. Using your elbows at your inner thighs, hinging forward. Take your time here. And then we're going to hinge back up. So bring your feet flat to the floor again. And you want roughly a 90-degree bend in the knee, toes point forward, hip bone distance apart. Hands behind your back. Oh, poo, I was going to stretch out the wrists. I forgot. So fingers pointing toward the body, right? Roughly shoulder width apart back there. Right? If the fingers need to turn out a little bit for your shoulders, use that. Right? The belly's in, the shoulders are back. Pull your heels toward your hips to lift your hips up off the floor. Take another nice big breath. And then let's release it. You can absolutely leave your knees bent, but see about taking your legs straighter. And not 100% straight, but straighter. Bringing your big toes to touch. The exact same action, right? The belly's pulling in, the shoulders are pulling together, the hands are nice and even onto the mat, right? Pull your heels toward your hips to lift your hips up off the floor here. See if you can get your toes to the floor, taking the feet flat. And then release the hips. Turn the fingers to point behind you here. So the legs can be straight or be bent, doesn't matter. See if you can keep your hands shoulder width apart back there. So if it starts to get easy, they're probably too wide. Gently walk your fingers back, keeping a little baby bend in your elbows. So if you can hyperextend your knees, you can usually hyperextend your elbows as well. And we don't want to do. Shoulders stay back. Couple more big breaths. And then we'll walk back in. Rolling the shoulders around. Hanging on to your shins. Bring your shins in. If you need to move forward on your mat, definitely do. Take the toes up off the floor, balance for a moment. And then C curving your spine, roll on down. Knees come into the chest, go ahead and rock. Side to side, up and down. And then opening the arms out into a T position here. Let's take the feet to the floor. We're going to shift the hips over to the left edge of the mat and drop the knees to the right. And remember, there are so many variations of this reclined twist. Take the one that speaks to you today, whether the knees are closer to the body or the legs are crossed or straight. Taking just a couple more breaths on this side, so getting in any other variation you'd like. And then let's make our way back up to the middle and switch sides. So the hips right, the knees left. And the same idea over here, making any adjustments that your body feels like, or that you feel like your body needs. Taking just a couple more breaths over on this side. And then we'll gently make our way back up to the center again. Hugging the knees in. Rocking a little bit. And then squeezing those knees in good and tight. Forehead pulling toward the knees. Give yourself a hug. Releasing it out into a full body stretch. And then releasing that stretch. Bringing the arms down by your sides. And finding a comfortable position. So if you're near a wall and you want to do legs up the wall, if you feel like you need to be supported with a bolster or a blanket or a pillow even, maybe an eye bag. Seated meditation against the wall. Allow yourself to figure out where you need to be. And releasing the muscles, releasing control of the breath. Keeping the mind in that quiet, present place. And just allowing yourself to rest for a few minutes. cleansing breath. And then let that go. Restoring gentle movement to your body. Allow yourself to wiggle, move, and stretch. When you're ready, take the feet flat to the mat. Gently roll yourself to the side, maybe pausing there in a fetal position. And making your way up to seated. Sitting well and bringing the palms to touch. And bowing your head to your heart. Namaste. I feel like I just woke up again. So thanks for practicing with me, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Have a great weekend. We're taking a little trip next weekend. I'm not sure when we're leaving yet, so I'll do something one way or the other for next Saturday. But enjoy your week and see you next Saturday somehow. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day.